He knows Cheryl. Everyone does, like it or not. A 5 feet floating orb made of endless compound eyes, tentacles, and chromatophores evenly distributed throughout her surface, who communicates blinking complex color patterns and made her life's mission to spread all hot goss in the multiverse. Really hard to ignore the overcharged Christmas trees that burst into every room, telling 17 to 35 stories simultaneously. So it's not the greatest of times to find out Cheryl is white. Walking down the hall, he could see the light show reflecting opposite the open door, but once he crossed said door, Sherry went blank and blinked to the intercom. "He's here." Blinked to him. "Please take a seat. He'll see you in a moment." And from then on remained floating behind her circular desk, blank, motionless, as white as the walls around them. This is not what you want to see when called to HR. MR. "He's ready for you. Please come in." She blinks discreetly, while extending a few of her tentacles towards the door. Dale knocks 3 times and opens a crack through which he sticks his face and asks, "You wanted to see me, sir?" "Yes, please. Take a seat," he answers, pointing half of the 16 foldable spears covered in thin black hairs he has for arms to the chair in front of his desk. Like Dale, the manager takes a seat. His arachnoid mandibles handle a pad, while his arms take resting position in a semicircle above his head, its sharp tips pointed at Dale's face. After a moment silently going through a document, he puts down the pad and speaks. "I went through the quarterly performance reviews, and yours called my attention. In fact, it caught the board's attention and prompted me to go through your shift logs." "Sir," Dale interrupts, "I always knew this job would be a challenge with my lack of fangs, claws, or shape-shifting abilities. But please understand, there are not many opportunities for the only human in this dimension. I really need this job, and I'll go through any training necessary to make me as terrifying as the company requires. I might even consider body enhance." "That won't be necessary," the manager tells a stunned Dale. "Strongly discouraged, actually." Feeling he has jumped the gun and fumbled an already tense talk, Dale tries to shift the conversation to put him in a more positive light. "Does that mean I pass my performance review?" "With flying colors. But there is such a thing as too much color," says the man who hired Cheryl as his assistant. "I don't understand." "We're in the business of scaring children, and in this regard, you achieved the company's goal better than entire crews. Your methods, however, are of great concern." "I can't deny my methods are unorthodox, but like I said, no fangs, no claws. I have to be creative." "You whispered in the ear of 159 children. Your parents look happy now, but 1/2 of marriages end in divorce." "Sir, 487 others heard you say, 'Most cartoons don't have a second season.'" "I know, but 361, you know baldness is hereditary, right? 476, your current grades will be reviewed in college admissions. 213, if Santa knows if you're naughty or not, does this mean he watches you poop? One poor kid had to listen, have you considered that lump on Spot's belly might be cancer?" "I'll admit I pushed the envelope on this last one." "All of them, Dale, all of them. We need these kids to grow into functional adults so they can have kids of their own, and we don't go bankrupt. This kind of trauma is not something that fades from one's mind." "Excuse me, sir, but I don't find it inappropriate to say that when it comes to human children, I'm the specialist here. Our children break bones, go through divorces, bullying, and most turn out just fine." "Maybe so, but we won't take this kind of risk." He activates the intercom. "Cheryl, let the officers in." The row of heavily armed men in tactical gear bursts into the room, and taking the human who screams at the top of his lungs, "Unhand me, you glorified thugs! Your pension fund is mishandled. It will be gone when you reach retirement age. And Cheryl, gossipers are 90% of spinsters eaten by their pets." For the rest of his life, Dale was kept gagged to protect the innocent monsters from his existential mockery.